have the infinite limits. So consider the function f of x equal to 3 over x minus squared. No? So if x is equal to positive 2, so 2 minus 2 squared, so meron tayo 0 sa denominator. So meron tayong 3 over 0 or undefined. So gawin natin, so let x approaches positive, x approaches to the right, and x approaches from the left. So tingnan natin, ano yung magiging f of x natin. So halimbawa ito. No? So x approaches from the left. No? So meron tayong 0.5, 0.75, 1.5, 1.99, 1.9999. And the value of f of x is 1.3, 1.90, 12, 300, 3 million, and 300 million. So ano napansin nyo sa f of x? Ano napansin nyo sa f of x?
Palaki ng palaki po. Approaching to infinity.
So the f of x is increasing. So what about if x approaches from the right? So we have 3, 0.75, 0.5, 2.01, 2.001. And the value of f of x is 3, 5.33, 12, 300, 3 million. So ganun din yung nangyari sa f of x when x approaches from the right. So the value of f of x increases without bound. No? Or, ayun nga, sabi kanina ni Kuya, the f of x approaches positive infinity. So based from this illustration, so we can say that the limit of the function 3 over x minus 2 squared. So based from the illustration, no? So the limit of the function 3 over x minus 2 squared, no? As x approaches 2 from the left is equal to positive infinity. No? And the limit of the function 3 over x minus 2 squared as x approaches 2 from the right is equal to positive infinity. No? So these limits, no, is called infinite limits. No? So yun po. So ano yung pinagkaiba nila ng limits at infinity? No? So yung limits at infinity, so yung x natin approaches positive or negative infinity. Now dito, sa infinite limits, so yung function natin, no, is approaching to positive or negative infinity. So ayun po yung pagkakaiba nila, no, sa infinite limits. No? Then we have the equation. So y is equal to 1 over x. No? So as we can see, no, as x approaches, no, 0 from the left, no, so the function approaches negative infinity. No? So ito yung graph na to. So approaches negative infinity. Then, no, if x approaches 0 from the right, so the function approaches positive infinity. No? Or we can say that the limit of 1 over x as x approaches 0 from the left is equal to negative infinity. Or the limit of 1 over x as x approaches 0 from the right is equal to positive infinity. So from this, No? So if r is any positive integers, then we have the limit of 1 over x raised to r as x approaches 0 from the right is equal to positive infinity. No, tandaan po yun. Then, number 2, so limit of 1 over x raised to r as x approaches 0 from the left, no, is negative infinity if r is odd. No? Kung exponent mo is odd number, so the limit is negative infinity. So if r is even, so the limit is positive infinity. No? So, yun. So, halimbawa, so we have limit of 1 over x cubed. Now, as x approaches 0 from the right, from the left. No? So, what is the limit of the function? No? Approaches 0 from the left, then x cubed. So, 3 is odd. No? So, the limit of the function is negative infinity. No? So, ganun. Or, halimbawa, limit of 1 over x raised to 4 as x approaches 0 from the left. No? So, 0 from the left. Then, 4, yung exponent mo, so even. So, that is positive infinity. No? So, ganun lang. No? Itong theorem 1. No? The next, so theorem number 2. So, if c is any real number, no, and if limit of g of x as x approaches c is equal to 0, and limit of f of x as x approaches c is equal to k, where k is any constant not equal to 0, then, so we have 4 cases. So case 1 and case 2, so k is greater than 0, no? Or k is positive, no? Ayun po. So if g of x approaches 0 through positive values of g of x, the limit of f of x over g of x as x approaches c is positive infinity, no? Tanan. G of x approaches 0 through positive values, or we can say, no? No, x approaches c from the left, no? Kasi 'di ba? C from the left, from the right, so that is positive numbers, no? So if f of x or yung k mo positive, then g of x approaches 0 through positive values, or limit is positive infinity. Then, yung second case, so if k is greater than 0, and if g of x is 0 through negative values of g of x, so limit of f of x over g of x as x approaches c is negative infinity. No? So, g of x approaches 0 through negative values, or x approaches c from the right. No? So, ibig sabihin, the limit is negative infinity. No? So, yung f of x mo positive, g of x mo nag-0 through negative values. So, your limit is negative infinity. No? So, parang yung last example natin, no? Diba? The limit of 4x cubed minus 3 over 2x plus 5, no? As x approaches positive infinity. No? So, your x is positive, then, so x is approaching to positive infinity. Yung denominator nag-0 through positive values. So, positive yung numerator, then, yung denominator, so, approaches 0 through positive values. So, the limit is positive infinity. No? So, ganun po yung case number 1. And case 3, if k is less than 0, and if g of x approaches 0 through positive values of g of x, so we have limit of f of x over g of x as x approaches c is negative infinity. Then case number 4, so k is less than 0, so negative. No? 3 and 4, negative k. or negative yung f of x mo, yung numerator. No? And if g of x is approaching to 0 through negative values of g of x, so limit of f of x as x approaches c is equal to positive infinity. No? So f of x negative, no? Then g of x 0 approaching 0 through negative. So negative is equal to positive infinity. No? Parang nagano ka lang. Nag-multiply ka lang ng integers, di ba? Positive times positive, positive. No? Then positive, negative. So negative infinity. No, negative, positive, negative infinity. So negative, then negative. So positive, infinity. O, example tayo. Halimbawa ito. So limit of x squared plus x plus 2 over x squared minus 2x minus 3 as x approaches 3 from the right. No? From the right. So apply natin yung limit. The limit of x squared plus x plus 2 as x approaches 3 from the right over limit of x squared minus 2x plus minus 3 as x approaches 3 from the right. So equal to, so substitution, so 3 squared plus 3 plus 2 over 3 squared minus 2 times 3 minus 3. Sa numerator natin, so 3 squared plus 3 plus 2 equal to ilan?
40.
Positive 40. No? Then, denominator, 3 squared minus 2 times 3 minus 3 equal to
0.
0. No? So, 14 over 0, so that is equal to, no? So, k natin is positive. Diba? So, case 1 or 2 ang titignan natin. No? So, k is positive. Then, g of x approaches 0. Through what values? Positive or negative? So, tignan natin yung x approaches c. So, that is x approaches 3 from the right. So, ibig sabihin, x approaches 0 through positive values. So, ano yun? So, case number 1. K is greater than 0, positive, and g of x approaches 0 through positive values. And so, therefore, the limit of the function is positive infinity. No? So, the limit of the function as x approaches 3 from the right, so that is equal to positive infinity. No? So, the limit is positive infinity. So, yun. So, that is case 1. No? Oh, so limit of x squared plus x plus 2 over x squared minus 2x minus 3 as x approaches 3 from the left. No? From the left naman to. Ganun ulit. So, kunin natin limit ng numerator and denominator. So, limit of x squared plus x plus 2 as x approaches 3 from the left over limit of x squared minus 2x minus 3 as x approaches 3 from the left. So, substitution theorem, that is 3 squared plus 3 plus 2 over 3 squared minus 2 times 3 minus 3. No? So, yung numerator natin, that is 40 over 0. So, numerator, yung k natin is positive. No? So, positive, then, denominator approaches 0. through negative values. No? So x approaches 3 from the left. That is case 2. K is greater than 0. G of x approaches 0 through negative values. And the limit is negative infinity. So 14 over 0 is equal to negative infinity. So the limit of the function, as x approaches 3 from the left is equal to negative infinity. So next example. Limit of square root of x squared minus 4 over x minus 2 as x approaches 2 from the right. No? So, paano natin isosolve? No? Pag nag-substitution theorem ka, no? Nalagay mo, square root of 0 squared minus 4 over 2 minus 2. So, meron kang 0 over 0. No? So, hindi pwede. So, anong gagawin natin? No? Para makomplete natin yung limit ng function. Paano po na ang gagawin natin?
Factor po.
Conjugation.
Conjugate. Multiply natin ng square root of x squared minus 4 over square root of x squared minus 4. Ganun pa rin. No? Hindi pwede.
Factor.
Factor. Paano natin ipa-factor?
X minus 2 tsaka x plus 2. Ay, joke lang sir. Hindi pala pwede.
Yan. X minus 2 times x plus 2 over x minus 2. Ganyan. Tapos cancel C. Walang makakancel. No? Pero ang goal natin is ma-cancel tong x minus 2.
Saka po i-conjugate after mag-factor.
Ganun din po yun. Basta ang goal natin, mawala to x minus 2. So, paano natin maalis si x minus 2? Ay, yung numerator, naka-square root. So, kailangan, no, para maalis natin yung x minus 2, meron ding square root doon sa denominator. So, dapat magkaroon tayo ng square root of x minus 2. No? So, paano yan? Ano sabi ko kanina sa unang example na sinulid ko natin? Ano yung tatandaan natin?
Square root of x squared equals to absolute of x.
Yung absolute value po, sir.
Yung absolute values, di ba?
Value of
Di ba? Sabi ko kanina, no? Absolute value of x. Ay, pangit. So, absolute value of x is equal to x if x is greater than 0. And absolute value of x is equal to negative x if x is less than 0. And absolute value of x is equal to square root of x squared. So, apply natin dito. No? So, x approaches positive 2 from the right. So, magagamit natin itong absolute value of x equal to x if x is greater than 0. So, yung x minus 2 natin should be greater than 0. No? Para magkaroon tayo ng x minus 2. No? X minus 2, yung x mo. So, equal to square root of x minus 2 squared. No? So, meron ka na square root of x minus 2 squared. So, substitute mo doon sa denominator mo. So, we have limit of square root of x squared minus 4 over x minus 2. So, that is square root of x minus 2 squared. Now, as x approaches 2 from the right. So, meron ka na square root sa denominator. So, next na gagawin, factoring. Yung numerator and denominator. No? So, limit of square root of x squared minus 4. So, that is x minus 2 times x plus 2 over square root of x minus 2 times x minus 2 as x approaches 2 from the right. Yeah? Makakancel na ba? Makakancel na? Maka- Wala. O, hindi pa natin makakancel. No? So, ang gawin natin, no? Ipaghiwalay natin x minus 2 saka x plus 2. No? Ganun din sa denominator. No? So, limit of square root of x minus 2 times square root of x plus 2 over square root of x minus 2 times square root of x minus 2 as x approaches 2 from the right. No? So, ayun. So, cancel. So, we have limit of square root of x plus 2 over square root of x minus 2 as x approaches 2 from the right. No? Then limit, no? So equal to limit of square root of x plus 2 as x approaches 2 from the right over limit of square root of x minus 2 as x approaches 2 from the right. No? Ayan. So applying limit theorem, and that is square root of limit of x as x approaches 2, no, from the right plus limit of 2 as x approaches 2 from the right all over square root of limit of x as x approaches 2 from the right minus limit of 2 as x approaches 2 from the right. So equal to square root of 2 plus 2 over square root of 2 minus 2. Or we have square root of 2 plus 2. That is 2
2.
over 0. No? So 2 over 0. So 2, numerator, positive. And denominator, no, approaches 0 through positive values. So 2 over 0
Positive
is
infinity.
yun, very good. So that is positive infinity.
Sir,
So the
question
limit,
po.
ano po?
Doon po sa kanina po na ginawa na pinactor out po yung numerator.
Anong pinactor out po? Ito? Ito po.
Kanina, hindi po, doon po sa naunang solution bago po gamitin yung sa absolute value of x po.
Yan?
Hindi po sir, doon po sa given po na yun.
Ah, okay. Ito.
Opo.
Ito, to. O, ano po?
Yung, hindi, bago po yan, di ba po, parang finactor out po natin si square root of x squared minus 4 into
Opo.
square root of x minus 2 tsaka
Times,
x plus 2.
opo.
Pwede naman, tapos kapag po kasi dinistribute po si radical or ginawa pong in exponent form, which is 1/2, magiging ano na po, pwede naman pong makancel yung numerator po, di ba?
Numerator? Ibig mong sabihin, yung
Opo.
x raised to 1/2, meron kang x squared minus 4 raised to 1/2, tapos x minus 2. Ganyan.
Opo. Finactor out po yung isa. Yung numerator po.
Meron kang x minus 2 raised to 1/2, x plus 2 raised to 1/2 over x minus 2. Pag pinactor mo yan, so meron kang x raised to 1/2 raised to negative 1/2. Pag binaba mo yun, so meron kang x raised to x minus 2 raised to 1/2. Ganun pa rin. Meron ka pa rin 0 over 0.
Pero sir,
Ano po? Opo.
pag pinactored out nyo po siya, kunyari, square root of x minus 2 times x plus 2, tapos tsaka nyo po sinubstitute yung 2, magkakaroon po kayo ng square root of 2 plus 2 dahil yung 2 minus 2 magiging 0.
Ganun pa rin.
0.
Diba? 2 minus 2, 0 times 2 plus 2, 4. Ayun. So, kung may naisip kayo ibang solution, share natin, no? Kung after neto, may maisip na kayo, i-share natin sa class, no? Ayun po. Okay yun, no? May observations tayo. Ayaw mabura. Ayun, kung may isip pang ibang solution, no? Pakisabi na lang. Welcome naman yung iba pang solutions, no? So, kasi iba yung nasa isip ko, iba yung nasa isip niyo, no? Merong solution na madali, no? Merong solution talaga na mahirap, no? Mahaba, no? So, nasa sa inyo po yun. So, ayun nga, sabi ko kanina kung may iba pang solution na naisip. So, welcome naman yung idea na yun. At least, may alternative tayo. No? Next. No? Ito. So, limit of square root of 4 minus x squared over x minus 2 as x approaches 2 from the left. No? From the left naman. No? So, yun ulit. Meron tayong square root ulit. 4 minus x squared. So, yun ulit. Pag sinubstitute mo si 2, so 4 minus 2 squared, so 0. Square root of 0 over 2 minus 2. So, that is 0 over 0. No? So, gamitin ulit natin yun. No? Ito naman. So, absolute value of x is equal to negative x, no? If x is less than 0. So, denominator natin, so that is x minus 2. So, less than 0. No? So, we have x minus 2. Diba? Absolute value of x is equal to negative x. So, x minus 2, so that is negative times 2 minus x. Or we have no? Negative square root of 2 minus x squared. No? And substitute the limit of square root of 4 minus x squared over x minus 2. That is negative square root of 2 minus x squared. No? Ayun. As x approaches 2 from the left. No? So next, factor the numerator and denominator. Now limit of square root of, so 4 minus x squared, so 2 minus x, then times 2 plus x over negative square root of 2 minus x times 2 minus x as x approaches 2 from the left. So equal to limit of, so 2 minus x times square root of 2 plus x over negative 2 minus x times square root of 2 minus x as x approaches 2 from the left. No? So cancel. So we have limit of square root of 2 plus x over negative square root of 2 minus x. No? As x approaches 2 from the left. No? Then limit of numerator and denominator. So limit of square root of 2 plus x as x approaches 2 from the left over limit of negative square root of 2 minus x as x approaches 2 from the left. No? Next, so apply natin limit of square root. That is square root of limit of 2 as x approaches 2 from the left plus limit of x as x approaches 2 from the left. All over negative, no? Limit of 2 as x approaches 2 from the left minus limit of, no, x as x approaches 2 from the left. No? So equal to, so limit, that is 2 over 0. No? Ayun. So 2 is positive. No? Then x approaches 2 from the left. Now, what is the limit of the function?
Negative infinity.
So that is negative infinity. No? So yun. Good. No? So ay anong case yun? So case 3. No? Numerator positive. No? Then ano yan pala? Case 2. No? Numerator is positive and g of x approaches 0 through negative values. Ayun. The next theorem. No? So number 3. Now, if c is any real number and if limit of f of x as x approaches c is equal to positive infinity and limit of g of x as x approaches c is equal to k, where k is any constant, then limit of f of x plus g of x as x approaches c is equal to positive infinity. Now, 4. If c is any real number and if limit of f of x is equal to negative infinity and limit of g of x as x approaches c is equal to k, where k is any constant, then limit of f of x plus g of x as x approaches c is equal to negative infinity. So parang ano yan? Positive infinity plus k, that is positive infinity. Negative infinity plus k, So negative infinity. No? Try natin. So limit of 1 over x over 2 plus 1 over x plus 2 as x approaches 2 from the right. No? So apply natin. So kunin natin limit ng bawat term. So limit of 1 over x minus 2 as x approaches 2 from the right. Plus limit of 1 over x plus 2 as x approaches 2 from the right. So ito, 1 over x minus 2, so substitute. So 1 over 2 minus 2, so that is 1 over 0. Ano yun? Positive or negative infinity? 1 over 0. K is
Positive.
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 Positive
So that is
infinity.
positive infinity. Ayun ba yun? Then, plus limit of 1 over x plus 2. So that is 1/4. No? Oh, the answer is positive infinity plus 1/4. No? So number 3, positive infinity plus k. So that is positive infinity. No? So yun. Ganun lang yung 3 and 4. Next. No? So we have, no, if c is any real number and if limit of f of x as x approaches c is equal to positive infinity and limit of g of x as x approaches c is equal to k, where k is any constant except 0, then we have two cases for theorem number 5. So if k is positive, no, k greater than 0, so limit of f of x as x approaches c times g of x is equal to positive infinity. Then case 2, so k is negative or k is less than 0. So limit of f of x as x approaches c times g of x is equal to negative infinity. No? Ayun po. Try natin. So we have limit of 5 over x minus 3 squared times x plus 4 over x minus 4 as x approaches 3. No? So limit of 5 over x minus 3 squared as x approaches 3 plus limit of x plus 4 over x minus 4, no, as x approaches 3. No? So ito, so we have 5 over 3 minus 3 squared, so 5 over 0 plus limit of x plus 4 over x minus 4 as x approaches 3. That is, ano po? 3 plus 4, 7 over 3 minus 4, negative 1. 7 over negative 1. So that is negative
Negative 7.
7. No? So ito, 5 over 0. K is positive.
Positive.
True positive. Yun, very good. So positive infinity minus 7. Times, sorry. Hindi pala plus. So times negative 7. So negative infinity times negative 7. So that is equal to, so positive infinity, then k is negative. So k is 2.
Negative
So
infinity.
that is negative infinity. So yun. And last theorem. So theorem 6. No? So if c is any real number and if limit of f of x is equal as x approaches c equal to negative 8 and limit of g of x as x approaches c equal to k, where k is any constant except 0, then so two cases then. So if k is greater than 0 or positive, so limit of f of x as x approaches c times g of x equal to negative infinity. No? If k is less than 0 or negative, then limit of f of x as x approaches c times g of x equal to positive infinity. No? Positive infinity. No? Oh, try natin. So, limit of square root of 4 minus x squared over x minus 2 times x minus 3 over x plus 2 as x approaches 2 from the left. No? Oh. So, we have limit of square root of 4 minus x squared over x minus 2 as x approaches 2 from the left. So, times limit of x minus 3 over x plus 2 as x approaches 2 from the left. So, that is equal to. So, ito, nasagot na natin to, di ba? Limit of square root of 4 minus x squared over x minus 2 as x approaches 2 from the left. Ano nasagot natin dyan kanina?
Negative infinity.
So, that is negative infinity. No? Very good. So, times limit of x minus 3 over x plus 2. And that is 2 minus 3 over 2 plus 2.
Negative
Negative 1/4. So, negative infinity times k less than 0. Negative. So, that is equal to
Negative infinity.
Negative infinity.
negative k less than 0. Anong
Ay,
limit?
positive infinity.
Positive infinity po.
Very good, no? So, positive infinity.